Thanks everybody for giving us the opportunity to help get this organized, and to the speakers too. Great presentation, Chad. Looking forward to the information from Dale and from Tony here shortly. I'm going to try to be brief here, just to make sure we do stay on track. I'm not really going to have a demonstration or anything today. I just wanted to kind of run through what's been going on with TerraGo over the past year since we last had this event. Some things that are going on in the industry. We're all quite affected by this, but thanks again for the opportunity. Thanks, Madison up in Northern Virginia, for helping getting this organized, and Mr. Gunling as well. So just to give you an idea of what we have been up to in the space itself, obviously during the pandemic, a lot of things have changed. But just to give you just a running list of what we've been up to, we did attend the Esri Virtual User Conference, which was kind of weird. I think the number that Jack Dangerman put out was 87,000 attendees to the virtual event. So hopefully everyone was able to jump in and get the latest on what ESRI is up to. And a great new announcement as of a couple of months ago, TerraGo just became a business partner of Esri. So we've been technology partners with them for a long time, but we've been embraced as a partner now on the business front, which is great news for us. We've been working with the technology for a number of years. So that's great to see, and thank you to Esri for that, if we have any Esri staff on the conference here. We hosted a BAE Systems customer webinar on the capability to produce GeoPDFs back in June. Thanks for all the support from BAE. I know that we have a couple of their staff on. That webinar is available on the website to see the resulting products out of the Socket, GXP, and WebView environment. We do host a lot of webinars on a regular basis. So if you do want to revisit some of those webinars or were unable to attend, they're all hosted there under the webinar section on our webpage. Again, during the pandemic, everything has been canceled, everything. And as you see from the backgrounds, everybody's working from home these days. So everything is virtual. The GeoInt Symposium, which is the largest industry conference, I bring that up just about every year and really encourage everyone to go. In Tampa, it was canceled this year, as well as the large GeoWeek conference that was scheduled to be held up in DC was canceled. We are working virtually with USGIF. We have engaged them on opportunities to try to help get the word out about what it is that we're accomplishing in the space. And we're doing the same thing with the GeoWeek staff. Through that and one of our other partners, we worked with a newer organization called it's the Geospatial Frontier. They host a virtual tech fair. And so I worked with those folks on an industry interview, and that's available on YouTube. One of the key things that has happened this year, and this is an enormous effort, was actually kind of the rebrand of our publisher products. Everybody knows us as the GeoPDF guys, actually. So we've done a large rebranding effort. So with newer installers that are being released, and everybody knows, I believe, we do releases to all of our products 2 to 3 times a year. So there is some new rebranding that is coming, as well as some product name changes. Functionality still remains the same and is continually getting enhanced, over the past 15 years that we created this tech capability, but also continue to enhance and try to be a leader in the space. Updated everything as GeoPDF Publisher and GeoPDF Composer products. Seems like a small change, but I think the marketing team will tell you that it's quite the endeavor. Most recently, again, I said that we do webcasts, webinars on a regular basis, and these are primarily just for educational purposes. And we hosted this GeoPDF webinar week last week. If you did not see information about that, please let us know. Completely educational. We ran through our GeoPDF Composer, tool set on how to convert these geospatial PDFs directly to GeoPDF, so they work with our toolbar. We did that last Tuesday, how to create these map books that Chad was talking about, how to do geometric correction inside of that composer product of CAD files, microstation files, that type of work, and also how to create 3D GeoPDFs. That was on last Tuesday. Last Wednesday, we went through the plugin to ArcGIS and all of the configuration capabilities. It's strictly, again, these were a little more detailed than what you might see on YouTube or on our website. Generally, we keep those to about 15, or the smaller videos on the website are generally about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, just so you can take small snippets. These webcasts were about an hour long. And the last webcast was on the GeoPDF toolbar itself, on how users can actually really leverage the power of that toolbar to do annotations and markups. Chad talked about the QC process, and those marks that they put on the GeoPDFs. Those are geo marks, and so they maintain all of the geospatial complexity of that piece of annotation. So wherever you drop it, it's actually geo-referenced, and you can bring that back into Esri or other remote sensing or GIS platform. Virtual events will continue, especially now when people aren't really working face-to-face. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty close to a Zoom wizard at this point, since everybody's doing everything virtually. But those virtual events will continue, both from an education perspective, trying to roll in some more case studies. I think this is really valuable. This forum is really valuable for us because we're hearing about how people are using the products. Chad, great use case. Dale's done some really good work with IENC, and I really can't wait to hit that last bullet right there, which is the media coverage of the Air Force's use of GeoPDF during the COVID-19 outbreak. And Tony's going to give us some good information on that. Just a quick product update. Good news is that ArcGIS Pro is coming soon. The GeoPDF publisher for ArcGIS Pro is coming very soon. Next month is what we have forecasted. I have a couple of people already that I have seen on the attendee list that are going to be involved in the beta program. That'll happen in, I believe we're shooting towards the 21st, 25th, something like that in August. So we'll definitely let you know what's going on there if you're on my list. We are scheduling a general release in September, so by the end of Q3. Well, so we do releases, just another heads up, the publisher for ArcGIS and ArcGIS Server version 7.8 does support 10.8 now. So one of our larger customers on the federal side was really pushing us to go ahead and get that out. I do believe 10.8.1 was recently released, but we are compatible now with 10.8. About ArcGIS Pro, I have actually seen and have installed some of the versions that are coming that have made their way through QC and QA, and it's going to be a really nice product. It's not going to be apples to apples. Just to give you a heads up, it's not going to be 100% of the capabilities that are there inside of the GeoPDF publisher for ArcGIS, but we do have the critical things. They are in there. All of your layering, being able to produce a fully layered GeoPDF product, as well as attribute information. And the last I heard is that GeoPackage has been implemented inside of that first release of ArcGIS Pro. So that's going to be a great new capability, and some of the key things that our customers really rely on us for, we're making sure we get those in. Again, updated the branding on all of our GeoPDF products from TerraGo publisher to the GeoPDF publisher, and it's in all of the documentation. We also did a release of our publisher for raster product. We had a couple of, we found a couple, we're able to dig up a couple of bugs. So we fixed those and have released a new version of our GeoPDF publisher for raster. Also on the Composer product that does the map books and geometric correction, we did do a new release of that. I don't know if any of you have seen the capabilities for location services inside of the toolbar, but now we're leveraging location services inside of the GeoPDF toolbar. So if you're looking at a USGS topo, for example, of your area, just working in your office or on your laptop, we will leverage those services with a crosshair. So it'll actually pull your location and plot you on a map, which is a great new enhancement capability. And compatibility with Adobe Acrobat VX. In reference to mobile and toolbar as well, we have had a tremendous amount of success on the smart city side of our business. I'll get to that in just a minute, but our primary focus after the release of Pro is to be able to get a GeoPDF app, just a very generalized GeoPDF app available to our users. A lot of our federal customers still have not made that transition to the complete mobile environment yet, but a lot of our other federal customers and commercial customers are creating hundreds, not thousands, of GeoPDF products and are asking for an app to do some very basic tasks when it comes to collecting video, audio clips, photos, that type of information directly on their phone or their iPad or Android device. So that mobile app is coming in Q4, so probably November-ish timeframe. And one of the things, because of the proliferation of GeoPackage, I know there are still some issues with continuity around GeoPackage implementations, but we want to be able to, we can already import a GeoPackage into our other mobile applications for the streetlights and utilities and facilities management piece of our business. But we are also looking at implementing an import capability for the toolbar. And that's really to, continue to enhance that functionality and be able to deliver those key types of capabilities to our constituents and end users. The plugin for Socket GXP and for WebView, we are working with BAE Systems on a very regular basis, both on outreach to common customers and new customers, and for the good, obviously, of our partnership. We're doing some enhancements for metadata handling for one of our collective key customers as well, so that we can actually embed some more metadata inside of a GeoPDF, so it's discoverable in the Socket, in the GXP Explorer environment. Explorer is their data management solution to handle all this spatial content. Very, very robust tool to be able to manage and search and archive content. And it's so tightly coupled with their desktop environment, the GXP environment or WebView. It's just a very streamlined way to get data into and out of those tool sets. So one of the customer wanted to be able to query based on more criteria inside of the GeoPDF. So we're working with them and hope to have something by the end of the calendar year for sure on an implementation. I just wanted to hit a couple of things here on some benefits of GeoPDF. If you're new to the community, just some of the key takeaways that we really want to leave you with before I jump into the other piece of our business and don't run out of time. These GeoPDF products, we invented this technology way back in 2005, and so one of the key capabilities was being able to send this data out. And one of the reasons our federal customers adopted so quickly was it's really ideal for low bandwidth environments and for that novice user. And I think people will allude to this in the future, but everybody doesn't have a GIS on their desktop. So we really leverage compression techniques for this big data, and it's a completely offline solution now. So you don't have to have any sort of data connection. Multiple coordinate displays. Ted talked and Chad talked about our coalition partners and sharing data back and forth, maybe not just within our organization, but international partners as well. And they don't always look at the content the same way we do. So we, support more than 3,200 reference systems so that the user can very easily transition to display some information that's relevant to them. Again, the leverage is software that's already installed. The ubiquity of Adobe Reader, I'll steal your word, Chad, of the Adobe Reader on every workstation really opens up geospatial for the rest of the world, which is something that I'm really passionate about. As we are all associated to geospatial technologies, we really want the rest of the world to understand that everything that we can see has a place, has an X and a Y, and actually a Z value. So getting those key capabilities and delivering that content to the rest of the world so that they can understand some very basic geospatial principles. And as Chad alluded to, the collaboration of that QC process, every user has those basic tools of adding markups, those geomarks directly to the PDF to identify if something is incorrect or something is of interest on a mapping product. So it really streamlines that collaboration. The next thing I want to talk about just briefly, and I just have a couple more slides, is we have two pieces of our business. I've alluded to that in the past working groups. On the smart cities side of our business, smart cities and utilities, our field applications have been deployed to if you look at that last bullet there, some of the largest cities in the world. The city of Chicago is doing a large and continues to do a large deployment of smart streetlights. What we really focused on with this mobile application on this side of our business is to really, really focus and understand pain points for these organizations, and then customize this solution directly for their pain points and their workflows. So right now, these field applications and these applications that we have built have been deployed to these large organizations, large cities, townships, just overall Dominion Energy, Baltimore Gas and Electric, Florida Power and Light is one of the most recent customers of ours. But they're deploying millions of IoT devices. It's not just streetlights, though. It's electrical, their grid components, traffic signals, air quality sensors. We are assisting these organizations with the deployment of these millions of IoT sensors, and it's really streamlining a workflow and solving a problem. If you have interest in any of these types of applications, just reach out to me and let us know if it's something that we might be able to help you with as well. We did win a Smart 50 award for our work with the city of Chicago. And our efforts in that space, in the smart cities and utility space, that is growing so fast. And so we continue to invest resources in that market. Might be a little odd, but there are a couple of other opportunities for you to interact with us. Obviously, you can follow us on social media. LinkedIn and Twitter. This is where you're going to find out when these webcasts are actually taking place, other things that we're involved with in the industry, but also to note that we are hiring. If you know of anyone that is interested, we're hiring system engineers and project managers, some development staff as well, both on our smart city side of the business and on our GeoPDF side of the business. So that is it. I wanted to be brief. I really wanted to get to the user presentations. But with that, I'm going to stop my share and see if I can answer some questions. Let's see. Reference ArcGIS Pro. Some details about how many data-driven pages exports we can actually work with or we've tested with. I haven't made it up to that number. It was, I set up a 20,000 data-driven pages export. This is one of our current customers. You know, we have done some testing on, you know, the data-driven pages export. I'll have to get with you, George, to let you know what the results are on that. I have installed the product on my instance of ArcGIS Pro. I haven't tried to that scale yet, but I can get you some of the results on what we have been working with. And I believe we're going to try to get a beta across to you as well, if we can get it installed on your workstation over there. Let's see. So just another couple of comments. You know, we have been working in the mobile application space for a number of years. This GeoPDF app is just going to be an extension of that. Just want to let you know it's one of those tried and true field proven solutions there on the app side of the business. So that is all that I see for questions. Yep, I'm going to turn it over to you, Ray. I think we're good, and I hope I stayed on time.